Hey, rich Seattle liberals. Oh, is there goodness? Is this enough? This 2020 is nothing but good news for you guys. You destroy your own towns. Your Frankenstein monsters turn on you. You brainwash entire generations to think they're heroic Marxist socialists who overthrow the system by burning down the immigrants' falafel shop in Minneapolis. And now you good little rich leftist liberals who did everything you were told and that you would get the girls if you just voted Democrat. Now you have an income tax. A municipal income tax. This is great news. And what's so wonderful is you can dodge it. You just move to Bellevue. You move to Mercer Island. You go to Renton. Oh, Seattle City Council passes $200 million tax on big business. Now you're going to get a kick out of what they call it. Seattle City Council has passed a progressive payroll tax, of course. Just call it a taxing of productive people. The more you work, the higher percentage you pay. Progressive is such a euphemism. Payroll tax of the city's largest businesses with a vote of 7-2. That margin makes it veto-proof, an important note considering that Mayor Jenny Durkin has signaled opposition to the tax. Well, she doesn't control that town. That's obvious. The tax called Jumpstart Seattle. No, because it's not the fact that you give away free heroin and needles to your degenerates. It's not that people are defecating in the streets. It's not that you don't tell the degenerates of society the truth about, well, you got to work for a living and that's all. Oh, we'll just, and forget it that you're complete enablers of the parasitic among you. No, this extra tax on the productive citizens of Seattle, that's going to jumpstart Seattle. So what? You look like Tacoma? What? Don't you guys have the alderman, or maybe he's not in city council anymore? He was the black dude who claimed that when the street washers came in to clean up the feces and they were spraying the sidewalks, that would give post-traumatic stress syndrome to any black people that happen to be sprayed by fire hoses in the 60s. Isn't that your guy? And what I love is it's you people doing it to yourselves. You Democrat people did this to yourselves. The people who are going to pay this tax, I guarantee you, like at an 80% ratio, voted Democrat. The tax called Jumpstart Seattle. Get a catchy name. That'll produce gross municipal product. Was proposed by Council Member Teresa Mosqueda in mid-June as an alternative to Council Member Krishmana. So on. Oh, yeah, that's the socialist economist major who's never worked a day in her life. Amazon tax, an earlier proposal that would have raised roughly up to $500 million each year from Seattle's largest businesses. Jeff Bezos, don't you donate to the Democrat Party? And your wife took you for half because of divorce laws, also Democrat, feminist. Oh, it just... the snake eating itself. You want to maybe vote? You want to donate some money to the Republican Party there, Jeff? Or maybe here's an idea, Jeff. Maybe you got some gripes with the Republican Party, and I can understand that. How about you business leaders, you business people, donate to the Libertarian Party? How about that? Oh, wait a minute. Your Dangel didn't work, huh? Your mafia payoff, your protection money didn't work, did it, Jeff? Jumpstart Seattle will raise an estimated $214 million. You don't know that. You don't know that. Jeff, if I were you, you could hire me at A-Hole Consulting. It's on the image there. I'll make you more than Bain or McKinsey or Everwood. Certainly more than Accenture. I'll give you some advice, and you can save yourself $250 million. Though significantly less than the Amazon tax, it is also a far cry from the 2018 head tax, a similar $40 million tax that at the time was met with widespread criticism and repealed less than a month after it had been unanimously approved by the council. Isn't this against the Washington state constitution? I don't think there's a law to have an income tax. Now, I may have gotten that through what we're calling it a payroll tax, but don't worry, individuals are paying it. Part of Jumpstart success, kabam! Success can be attributed to a change in the times. Both the head tax and the Jumpstart Seattle provide funding for social programs and affordable. Yep. because it's not been enough. It's literally over, it's got to be $50 trillion adjusted for inflation going back to the Great Society. And you still got poor people, unemployment under 4%. You got people defecating in the streets. At least back in the olden days when people were poor, they were legitimately poor and they had the dignity not to defecate in the streets. But you guys got like the gin craze going on over there in Seattle, the modern day gin craze. And affordable housing, addressing problems that were present in 2018, but which have persisted and are now exacerbated by the pandemic. We cannot starve our way out of this recession, said Muscat. Oh yeah, I bet you're an economic genius, lady. I'm sure you've built businesses before, haven't you? Data from the Great Recession showed us that in the cities and in the states that tried an austerity budget, it did not work. It actually made the economies weaker. Yeah, but sweetheart, you're not the federal government. You just can't print off more money. And taxing your productive people doesn't improve the economy. And I'd love to know data from the Great. Really, what data? Is this studies show? Do you have research and papers and studies from the liberal arts and the social sciences, of which is now facing the credibility problem where, what was it, 80 or 80% or 3/4 of the studies can't be replicated? And of course, you didn't go to an academic university where it's biased to the left. We just need more money. It actually made the economies weaker. Yeah. I got a place you could shove that report, sweetheart. Another part of its success could be the subtle ways of its implementation differs from the head tax. The head tax applied a flat $275 fee per employee on businesses that earn more than $20 million annually. Guys, for Microsoft, Bill Gates and Bezos, you guys, you know what? You care. You don't mind paying this tax, right? Dude, I can't believe I'm fighting for Elon Musk, but Elon Musk at least said, hey, you either open up or we're getting out of here. It's just more parasites sucking blood out of your organization, guys. But there's a D in front of them. They care. D means they care. Not as in daycare, like for the kids, because mothers don't want to raise their children no more. I mean day, as in they, but daycare. They over there care. Oh, at the time, opponents argued that a tax punished bigger businesses from employing in Seattle and pushed them elsewhere. Yes, though, that's what's going to happen. Jumpstart Seattle casts a different net. It applies to corporations whose payrolls reach over $7 million annually. Even then, the tax is only applied to the individual payrolls for employees that make more than $150,000 a year. Because $150,000 a year with Seattle living, that's solid middle income, right? With Seattle living expenses. I forgot you guys all voted for this. Oh. Depending on how much more those employees make, their employers will be taxed between 0.7 and 2.7% of their pay. I wonder if these rates will not only go up, but increase in the number of levels. I wonder. In the weeks leading up to the vote to approve, the tax supporters argued that change was significant enough and the need great enough the residents would ultimately approve of the tax. Some holdouts remained, however. Councilmember Deborah Juarez and Alex Peterson both voted against the tax, arguing that it could still cause some businesses to relocate. Both also asked instead that voters be given an opportunity to weigh in on the tax in November. Yeah, those guys are okay. I want to applaud Deborah Juarez and Alex Peterson. That's good statesmanship. You ask for a referendum. That's good. That's good. Seattle has a well-established democratic tradition of giving voters the final say, said Juarez. Similar sentiments have been echoed by Durkin's office as well. A new tax goes into effect in the beginning of 2021, but will have made an impact before then. Now that Jumpstart Seattle, kapow, has passed, council members will work to set aside $86 million to be given for coronavirus relief for small business, immigrants and refugee support programs like burning down their businesses, housing and food security. That money will be replenished by the Jumpstart Seattle. Kabam! Tax raised next year. Any money the taxes raised in 2021 will be split between emergency services, COVID-19 relief programs, and administration costs. Oh, yeah, I bet. I bet there's going to be some six-figure, $150,000 plus people making their money off of this, right? You're going to need an assistant diversity reserve break glass in case of emergency inclusion officer for this project, even though that has nothing to do. I mean, could go to like poor people. Will you have butt wiping tutorials and classes for your finest citizens to learn how to wipe their own diarrhea rear after you gave them free heroin and they can't control their bladders anymore, or their colon. That's what it is, colon. In the midst of a pandemic, housing insecurity isn't just a moral health crisis, it's a public health crisis, said Mosqueda. Expanding services of vouchers will help struggling people put food on the table. Maybe if you stop having kids, you can. Here, you want to solve the problem? Everyone gets their tubes tied. Everyone gets a vasectomy. Okay? Or I guess you could just, do one. No way, because other people, yeah. Everyone gets tubes tied. Everyone gets vasectomies. Free vasectomy and free. You're all about free birth control, right? I'll solve poverty. I can solve it like that. And not in an evil, fascist sort of way, an actual good way that no one's going to get hurt. That actually, but then you wouldn't be doing anything and you wouldn't get reelected. And they'd ask you, why do we have so many people on the city council? And then you'd have to go get a real job. And that's ultimately what scares all of you to come up with poppycock like this. The second, more much hotly debated amendment reintroduced a sunset clause into the legislation. Oh, here it is. These parasites want your blood, Jeff. Hey, Jeff and Bill, they want their blood forever. It's a perpetuity. Big word. Look it up. Sunset clause had been a sticking point for some, including many callers who lodged public comment before the vote. The clause means the tax will expire in 20 years. Oh, God. Get out. Leave. Escape from New York. Do you need to hire Snake Plissken to show you how to do this, Jeff? Mosqueda's initial jumpstart Seattle kazing pitch included 10-year sunset, which had been removed after the public legislators both raised concerns it was too limiting. We need a parasite off of them for 2 decades. Council member Sawan argued the clause should have stayed out of the picture. This is extremely problematic and furthermore completely tone deaf to bring this amendment at the last second when the public can't speak out against this. The public exposed moves. It was a sunset clause, ended up on a bill by a 5-4 vote. Optimistic the vote will pass. The final text came. I will admit, very frustrated with the 2 amendments that just got this is the cow. I mean, you guys know these businesses aren't going to be there in 20, let alone 10 years. Yeah. Well, hang on. I take that back. The tech sector is filled with pretty idiotic managers and leaders when it comes to politics. I just love this. This is like when Facebook got sued for discrimination by their diversity and inclusion VP. And then Google's getting sued by a bunch of black YouTubers. And then Target gets all their buildings destroyed. And now Seattle. Oh, enjoy. Hey, I got a book for you guys. You guys want a book? Yeah, Kathy, here. Read this book. Enjoy the decline, accepting and living with the death of the United States. Oh, that's great. It's great. Oh, man. I just had to share. And then there's another article coming. Holy mercy. Look at the super chats. Oh, Bacon's in here. Of course, he's in Seattle now. DJ Aftershock for $2. It's for the teachers and the children. Of course it is. It's always for the children and the teachers. That's why 80% of the budget goes to administrative costs. Nonstop Dre 360 for $5. Seattle, more government taxes and less money for productive people. Please, yes, please. They say, and studies suggest communism hasn't been done right yet. Guys, you got to be for all the kids. Gosh almighty, it looks like we have nothing. We got what? We got nothing but Latinos and black dudes in the chat room today and our donors. For especially those of you on the right side of politics and you came from a minority environment and you probably no doubt got slammed for being an Uncle Tom or a traitor or whatever. Or those of you who may have actually escaped communist environments. And you're here like, whoa, man, we finally made it. What? It's communist again? You got to just enjoy this show, man. You got to enjoy this show. Because this ain't, all that's going to benefit is they're going to be like your Wyomings, your Idahos. I mean, not even that you're municipal. This is like so easy. You just leave. You go 10 miles that way up to Everett, or you go to Leavenworth, or you go down to, well, I want to go to Tacoma. They have feces in the street. Feces in the street. Bada Tacoma, feces in the street. And Seattle downtown, feces in the street. Sweet urine, Sweet urine being peed everywhere. Come on, everybody around the King County, come poop right in the street. All right. Doesn't matter if you're a communist or socialist, you just don't have yourself a job. Come on, every guy, every girl, every non-binary around the world, and let's poop, poop in the streets. Even Juan, who's not here, he takes pictures of people daily defecating in San Francisco streets. Oh, hang on, let's get up here. Where do we go? Here we go. Bacon for $2.23. My business isn't based here. Good luck taxing me. Yeah, Bacon, but you don't make no 150 grand a year unless you've been playing it really cool and hiding your power level. The day might come, though, guys. Hey, anybody? Seattle's management makes it so costly with regulations and not allowing for more building of development and housing and all that your rent and your cost of living is so high that $100,000 is middle income. That's like average. But now you're a rich SOB and we're going to tax you. You can leave. Just leave. Mark Magana for $4.99. Mark, send me your details about your product. I'm still waiting on it. Fake Republican Governor DeWine just mandated masks in 7 counties, and my fake red state of Ohio. South Dakota is sounding better and better. There's a book. And again, geez, it's almost like Cabby had insight or foresight. Here's a book, Reconnaissance Man. It goes over all the states in the United States. Actually, it doesn't go through it filters them out to some key primary candidates that any young or not so young person, anyone who wants to work where should producers, where should productive Americans live? That's what this book is. And then it talks about other things like, mountains and hiking and things like that you might like. So get that. Honest, Mark, you may not like South Dakota. Visit it first. I only like it because the mountains are not that tall and I don't get altitude sickness. And there's other motorcycling things and some geology I like. So I'm kind of a weirdo. Maybe Denver, but whatever. Just, but yeah, get out of Ohio. Nonstop Dre, $2. Leave cities, but they want to be near the action. Yes, that's where the action is. Like at Uptown, where there was that shooting recently, and then Minneapolis shamefully had to call the cops to respond to the shooting. But you see, Uptown is where all the smart, intellectual coffee sippers are. There's this coffee store called Uncommon Grounds. Oh my goodness, it's so clever. And that's where the smart people go to discuss new ways to come up with why you're entitled to other people's money, because they have master's degree from McAllister. They come over from St. Paul and they share the parasitic knowledge with the Minneapolitans. Just so intelligent. So there was a shooting there, and now Uptown ain't that great. It's not that nice no more. Oh, but you get to be where the action is, where the parties are. Ugh. Can't imagine a modern day Minneapolis house. At least in Minneapolis house parties in the 90s, the girls were attractive. Now, I'm just picturing a bunch of tattoos and hairy armpits. That's all I'm seeing. But that's where all the action is. You could catch a sports ball game. Oh, wait, you can't. Oh, that thing going around has prevented the sports ball from playing. Darn, why will you go to the Twin Cities ever? Nick Schulander, who is out in Spokane area, says, what is the Seattle you speak of? It's your parasitic class. It's where all the parasites live. That's the city of parasites. And it's twin sister city, Tacoma. That's where people poop in the streets. Yeah, just enjoy. Once you're on the other side of the Cascades, it's fine. Once you're north of the Bay or Puget Sound or south of the Bay, it's fine. I got a buddy who's my lawyer, and I love her to death because she hits me. What the F do you want now, Claire? What stupid reason are you? I hate you. She's great. She's just a great gal. And she was a lefty. She might vote Republican now. Oh, I mean, that's saying something. It's like, oh, okay. It must be bad then. But she's a very independent-minded person. Bacon, who you can find, by the way, if you want to listen to a great podcast, for those of you listening in Seattle, and you want to hear someone who's not a rank Marxist leftist and who works for a living, tune in to thegoddamnbacon.com. Go to thegoddamnbacon.com. You can tune into his podcast. What are these mask mandates you speak of? Hashtag 1939? Is that like the order they gave to do that? Stephen Ochoa, $2. How long must we run until it's too late? You just got to keep on running until you're dead, Steve. I mean, I'm fully prepared to, the next thing I'm going to do is start looking overseas to buy some land. So I got a good solid plan B, or maybe get a condo or something and have somebody I trust rent it out for me. I mean, yeah, and I don't want to buy another condo. Maybe it will just be, I'll just buy the land and down the road, I'll build on it. I think that's something I can afford. After I get my septic tank paid for. What? Go to my Subscribestar, subscribestar.com/Aaron Claire. You'll find it there. DJ Aftershock. Look, all you have to do, Steve, is leave Seattle. Just leave Seattle. DJ Aftershock for $5. Dude, man, like in Mercer Island, I'm so smart and intelligent. I need more of my dad's money to explain why I don't need to work. Because he works over at Microsoft. He's a pretty big deal. My mom works at Boeing at the HR department. That's why I went to Washington State to major in the liberal arts. I don't have a declared major because I don't like to be trapped, man. I like to spread my mind. That's why I have a general studies degree. It means I could do pretty much anything. Dude, man, where's my bailout? I'm working at Starbucks, but, because of the corporation and the system, man, they won't let me be the corporate executive. So I'm a barista. Nonstop Dre 360. When is Cappy's music album release date? Never. No, I'm going to get Baldoni. I'm going to try and get Baldoni to work on a project because he actually has musical talent. Dude, sing and can play and can read music. $50 for $2 song request. Do the fecal shuffle. Is that like the White Bear shuffle? No, White Bear. That's a town. The Chicago Bear shuffle. All right. We got everything. Is that? Oh, no. We still got more. I really just wanted to do one. I saw this. I had to spread the good news. Now I'm making all this money. Hey, all these tax dollars are fleeing Seattle and coming to me. Cappy, hey. Come to the capitalist Republic of Cappy. 0% income tax. 10% sales tax. David Miller, $5. Businesses have been building on the east side. Bellevue cranes everywhere. Good. Dave, if you're around, or Bacon, if you're around, give me a picture of that. I would love to see a picture of the cranes going up. Nonstop Dre for $5. Thanks to you, I'm in a coding boot camp now using my GI Bill, but getting paid to learn code. But they say you're a racist. I know. Dude, you hang on. I got another book. Cappy, do you have some books? I have some books. Okay, so this book with our good buddy Marcus Brown on there, he came up with the idea. It's a clever idea. Black Man's God Out Poverty, written by me, of course. If you go to the reviews on Amazon, they're mostly positive. But then there's it's a good book when there's a lot of 5s and some 4s, and then there's kind of no 2s or 3s. But then there's a bunch of 1s and 0s. That's a good book. And there's all these 1s and 0s white guy, racist. They're calling a book I wrote to help out black men escape poverty racist. It's yeah, okay, I'm not talking to NPCs. This book is not for NPCs. It's funny, man, ain't it, Trey? It's just, this is a crazy world. It's I'm glad you're getting let me know if you get a job before you get your degree. Because if that boot camp works out, I want to be able to recommend some boot camps and all that. Because you're not the only one looking to avoid college or just kind of get to work. There's our buddy Juan. We knew Juan was around. What is this poop on the streets you speak of? Dude, you should take some of your best photos and make a mural of them and submit it to the touchy-feely leftist art museum. And, you could come up with some dumb political shtick to go with it, showing and raising awareness of people with incontinent bowels because of heroin addiction in San Francisco. Dylan Dole, for $5. The Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis was left untouched in the riots. Well, yeah, that's because it's a fortress. And let's be honest, the rioters, one, don't know what the Federal Reserve is. They don't know what central banking is. They don't know where it is. It's not really near anything. It's kind of in the warehouse district, but you'd have to know it's there. The river's on its north side, so you can't approach it that way. The Hennepin Bridge is on its east side, so you can't approach it that way. And let's be honest, most of the protesters are dumber than bleep. They don't know anything about central bank. You think they know how the Federal Reserve prints off all this money and that really affects the poor, how inflation really costs their cost of living? No, they're going to go Target, as much as I dislike Target, or a Walmart, both of which have done more to raise people out of poverty because they've lowered the cost of all the goods and services. Walmart more than Target, obviously, because Target, oh my God, that's so much better. Target is Edina, Walmart is Fridley. All right, I think, oh, no, that's not it. Hang on. And let's do a shout out to Baking again, because, yeah, if you guys want to tune into a podcast like a Seattle native podcast, 1939 Germany. Oh, and Chosen Nuns with armband. Oh, yes. Productive people will have to wear armbands. God, that's got to really perplex you leftists. Like, you can't kill the producers, can you? You can't kill the host. Gee, what do you do? Well, you tax them a little bit more. Then they go away. Oh, you should chain them down and make them not move. You know what? You should take over the company and kick Jeff Bezos out. Why don't you just do that? That Swarma gal would probably, or Sawant really get a kick out of that. Mark Magana, $3. Huron, South Dakota, home of the world's largest pheasant. No, you don't want to go to Huron. Well, maybe you do. There's some nice prairie towns. There's nothing to do, but maybe you want peace and quiet. I'd recommend maybe Sioux Falls if you want peace and quiet. It's a big enough town. There's a Walmart there. I'm not kidding. There's a Walmart there. That's a big selling point. I don't think there's a Walmart in between Rapid City and Sioux Falls. I don't think there's even one in Mitchell. Could be wrong. How does it feel being a Twitch e-girl, Cappy? Boy, I tell you, I had that thought today, especially today with earlier podcast, the Good Morning Corona Champ podcast. That the donations, because YouTube's like 2 days behind. I was like, dude, I made a lot of donations. Thank you very much. And I'm like, this must be what it's like to be a stripper. This must be what it's like to be a webcam girl. I can make a living. I can make a living doing this. Jack Napier on YouTube. You can look him up, Jack Napier. He's like, what would 20-year-old Cappy think? I said, 20-year-old Cappy would be bleeping his pants. That's why I'm not cursing. So this goes monetized. Now, again, not monetized. It's just not, it shows up. I want it to get out. I want people to realize Seattle's income tax and all the hypocrisy that's involved. I'm like, I wouldn't even believe, because I didn't know what the internet was. Well, we kind of did. I'm like, I'm going to what? People are going to throw what at me for yelling at them on the internet while I'm in my pajamas, of all things? Get out of here. I'm going to be an investment banker. I'm going to be the world's greatest economist. Larry Sycamore. I don't think we've had Larry on before, have we? Yeah, maybe you have made donations. Well, thanks, Larry, for $5. Thank you very much. Keep up the great work, Kevin. Got nothing else to do. Hey, I tried being an economist. I tried stopping the housing crisis. I tried stopping the dot-com bubble. I tried to get people to invest and prepare for it. I tried. Now, oh no, this is it now. I'm going to be a ballroom dance instructor. I'm going to yell at the internet. Hey, look at this. Hey, I'm going to sing songs about defecating in the streets. Bacon for 223. Crazy just how fast everyone went mask fascist. People are sheep, man. That's how it's going to go. All right, that's it. Thank you for the unpredicted donations there. I was going to do another video, but it's time to watch Impractical Jokers, which I found a couple for free on the internet. So I'm going to watch the Impractical Jokers. Thank you for all the kind donations. And Nonstop Dre. Oh, hang on. Nonstop Dre. Cappy using his toxic white male privilege. To what? To yell on the internet Economics isn't hard. You just point out who the producers are and who the parasites are. That's it. I don't care what you call it. I don't care. Oh, jumpstart Seattle. Kazing. It's called Eat the Rich. That's what it is. All right. I got links to everything down below. Finally, July is Do Not Become a Millennial month. The millennials have suffered horrifically more than any other generation, bar maybe the World War II generation went through the Great Depression. But psychologically, I guarantee you, it's been absolutely horrible for them. And their performance has been abysmal. They're not going to own a home. They're not going to retire. The vast majority of them aren't. They are literally the world's largest sociological disaster. Get this book, especially if you're a millennial and you want to save the remaining half. Guys, it's halftime. The average millennial is about 35. That's half dead. You want to make some changes, huh? Originally, this was written for Gen Z in mind so that you did not end up like your elder millennial brothers or sisters. But it's also this is the best political philosophy book out there on the market right now. And I know that's because I'm biased, but I actually will pit that up against it. I would love, I don't care whoever's written a political philosophy book. I want to compare, I want to go head to head. Whoever does reviews, I don't know. In other words, you don't have to be a millennial or Gen Zer to enjoy that book. You will get a lot out of it. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.